Hello, everyone. Welcome to chapter 265 on my RLDR Custom Creations YouTube channel. It is the weekly edition. And yeah, it's been busy, but I have to settle down and slow down a bit and do some cleanup. So if you want to see what that looks like, all you need to do is stay tuned. Well, as I said in the introduction, there's a bit of cleanup that I really have to do. And I thought in between working on my grandkids' clubhouse outside, I would squeeze this in. It's important because it's just a mess and it's in my bathroom. So let's go take a look at what my plan is for this video. All right. Well, we're heading into my bathroom here, and you'll notice the counter here is completely full of stuff. I just don't have room for everything that I want to store in here. Um, yeah, there's some things that could maybe go down in the bottom yet, but that isn't going to meet my needs. And besides, once I have people in here again, whether it's students or whether it's young students or old students, I need a cupboard right about there. Well, it's not quite just as simple as building a rectangular box. This is kind of a funny corner to my room here, to my bathroom. And I actually, when I do something like this, I always cut a pattern. So that's about the size that that cabinet's going to be. It's going to probably sit about even, if I can show both, about even with the bottom of my glasses and cleaner station here. So it's going to go in like that, and it's going to go almost to the ceiling. There's just going to be a little bit of a molding to seal the shelf, the cabinet to the ceiling. Okay, so I don't want anything to get up there, and I don't want to have dust up there. So that's kind of what we're going to do. So yeah, that's the plan for today. But yeah, I've got like hair ties and gloves and dust masks and garbage bags for sealing up when we do wet turning. All kinds of stuff that should not be sitting on the counter. So we're going to try to clean this mess up. Now, because of the time I'm having this week, I won't get the whole um, cabinet done. So we're going to do this in stages. I'm going to build the cabinet part first, and then I'll bring you back some at a later date, and we'll build a door for it. So anyway, that's what today is going to be all about. So let's get cutting some wood. And here we are. I took the liberty of cutting the pieces. I didn't show you any table saw or bandsaw cutting. I'll just explain it. What I did basically is I used the pattern to make the top, or sorry, the bottom in this case, and the top, and I cut a 1/4 inch off the back side of it, so it's not quite the size of this pattern. It's just a quarter. I cut a 1/4 inch off the back on the sides that are going to be on the walls, because I intend to use rabbet joint to put this all together. So we'll cut those eventually. So yeah, I can get rid of the pattern for now. I think I'm done with it. So while I had the pattern, I actually just cut 2 shelf pieces. They're exactly the same size as the pattern, and they'll have to get cut down considerably once I get the cabinet assembled. Now, I just used pieces of scrap pine that I had lying around. I don't even remember how I came across it or how it came to be in my stockpile of lumber, but I had some pieces that were laminated fairly wide, for maybe it was pieces for my shelving. Like you see those buckets up there? I think I decided to eliminate one little area of it so I had an extra piece. And I used that up here because I didn't want to take the time to glue everything together. A lot of it isn't really the best wood, or I didn't really worry about matching grain and all that stuff. It's a bathroom cabinet that once the door is on, nobody's going to see anything of it. So I'll do a nice job on the door and that'll be it. Now, as far as the width of these panels here, I'll just show you about how big this whole thing is going to be. Sorry about the rough or the swift camera movements here. So this piece here is about 21 and a quarter, and that's going to go on this piece here. It'll stick out. It'll make the joint in the back a bit. The height of this thing, the total height, is going to be 38 inches. So that should pretty much cover that space like I explained in the previous segment, from the height of the shelf where my glasses cleaner sits on to about an inch from the ceiling. So, and remember, I'm going to put a little valance or molding on there to seal it to the ceiling. So anyway, that's it. The next piece here, you'll notice I wasn't even particularly careful. I didn't have pieces long enough, so I just made a butt joint there. Again, I don't think once I get the cabinet filled, nobody's going to see it. And structurally, it's going to be good because that piece there is 10 and a quarter inches, and it'll go again some length left for joinery and stuff like that. But yeah, it's 10 and a half. That piece is this piece, and this piece here is this piece here. And we'll put adjustable shelf pins, holes in. We'll put 2 in this back wall here and 1 row here. Did you see that? 2 in here and 1 over here. So we'll have 3 shelf pins holding the shelf. And so the box construction, there isn't really a whole lot to it. Now it's just a matter for me to cut the grooves, and we'll go from there. So I'll maybe show you a wee little bit of that. And then after we cut the grooves, we'll put the shelf holes in. Okay, I'll see you at the dado head. All right, and now to put in the rabbets, they're going to be 1/4 inch deep and 3/4 of an inch wide to facilitate the 3/4 inch material that we're using. And away we go. I'll do the other end. And there we go. I'll just do one piece. Well, I was going to show you assembly, and I kind of got started here. I forgot all about you guys. So we're going to get into it. I've got some glue down there already. And we're going to put that there for now. I'm just going to glue and brad nail this. For now, yeah, that'll be lots. Okay. It always is a little bit wobbly until you get things going. And adding glue just makes things a little worse at the start. So there we go. That'll help. Now this bottom piece here has warped a little bit, so I'm going to nail this here. And then I'm going to put a clamp on it. And where did my clamp? Oh, there it is. Thought I was ready for this. We're going to just put that clamp there and suck this in nice and tight. There we go. Okay, let's nail this up quickly. That's looking really good. Well, here, let's get it this way. That's good. Okay. I'm hoping now I can take the clamp off. And that seems to be all right. Set this aside. And then we're going to put the top on. Now, I had tacked these together with hot glue just to see how everything fit. And I did that off camera. But I have a little bit of the hot glue that I need to cut off here. Just okay. There we go. Let's actually just flip this up. Yeah, once you can get things, you can start assembling things, it's just a lot easier to get things how you want them. Yeah, the rabbits that I made, that the way I have that blade set, it's set for my cabinets, and that material has been consistently a little under 3/4. So to make this 3/4, and you probably saw it when I did the dado cut. You saw when I pushed there was already a dado cut there. What I did was the second pass because I'm a little wider than what that blade is cutting. So that's why you saw that. Okay, we're put some glue in here. That, like that. Okay, let's, oops, okay, well, that'll work. Okay, we'll get this. It may have looked on video like my fingers were kind of lined up with everything, but I assure you I was safe. I double checked to make sure my fingers weren't in the line. The other thing you need to check is when you get blowout that your fingers aren't there either. And that was successfully done. So I'm going to put my back to you here. Sorry about that. And do that. And then we're going to throw that clamp back on because this one also is the same thing. It's bowing a little bit, and I want to make sure I deal with that now, because once the glue's dry, this won't. And once I finish assembling this cabinet, I may actually put these clamps back on. Yeah, there we go. Okay, let's nail it up. Now, none of these nail holes will be visible. I'm just going to, there we go. Sorry about my back being to you, but that's the way it is. Okay, so that's glued. So theoretically, the back of the cabinet's now on. And let's spin it around. Well, actually, yeah, let's spin it around. And then the back goes on. Okay, I have to get that right. I have to get this right. Yeah, okay, this is the way it goes. So I have to make sure. I actually think I'm going to put this side piece on first, because then I can get this one exactly where it needs to be. Oh, yeah, when you fit things without having them securely in place, it can come back and hurt you later on. But I know that this needs to be flush, and I actually did that. Is that the way it goes? Is there a way that this, oh, that's top. Okay, never mind. I was just thinking. Probably not a bad idea. Sorry about the back. Okay, so that might be all I need to do for right now. I'm going to pull this off. And we're going to nail this up. Yeah, I'm going to get another clamp. I will be right back. There we go. That's what I wanted. Give that a good nailing. There we go. There we go. Okay. So I'm hoping that I can get rid of this one now. I'll just lean it up against my filing cabinet there. And then we will spin this around. There's a little bit of glue on the inside, but I'm maybe a couple things you should never be when you do a bathroom cabinet like this. First of all, I shouldn't be in a hurry, which I definitely am. And I should care a little more than what I do. There'll be basically just the inside of the cabinet. Some of it will get seen occasionally. Now, that doesn't mean that you take every job you do and you just do a good job where people can see it. That's not cool. Now, this cabinet needs to last. It needs to be strong enough to hold everything that's in it. And it needs to be somewhat eye appealing. But the back doesn't matter all that much. So as long as I have everything strong, we should be good. And this system of gluing and nailing together has served me very well over the years. It's quick and it's good. Just putting glue on every surface here. Okay, and put a little bit of glue on here yet. And I haven't sanded much of anything here yet. I think what's going to happen is that's going to be the first real test for my Princess Auto sander. Now this back isn't quite the way it should be because that sticks out like that. Okay, let's get that clamp back. But I think that's going to be my first real test of that Power Fist sander. And I've been doing some research on that thing this last week, and I'll share it with you maybe as early as the weekend edition. But I am so far very impressed with what I'm reading. So, okay, let's nail this guy in. There we go. Let's take this off now. Set it up there. Now, this isn't quite working out. I didn't bother making those miters exactly the same here. I'm just going to take and plane this extra off, and it's touching in the inside, which is going to make the inside look good, which is what I want. So that's not a huge deal. And this back, I'm just going to nail on. Ooh, I got to do this end yet. Can't forget that. That's the bottom too. Okay, maybe the clamp again. It's taking a little longer to assemble than I'd hoped. I always want to shoot for that 20-minute video or so, and they always end up going over. But yeah, there we go. Yeah, I don't know where I got this from. It's got biscuits in it, and I never biscuit joint end grain. To me, it's just not necessary. go. Again, the glue cleanup not particularly important on this part. Okay, I'd like to leave that clamp on yet, but I need to nail through here. Yeah. Just a few more brads to put in, and then this thing is together. Some of these panels aren't quite 3/4 of an inch. Some of them are. So it's a little off. Okay, I think we're just going to put a line along there. No, I think I need a paper towel for that. I don't know if I have one. Now, here's a rag. That'll do. I'll clean this up a little bit. Okay. And then almost looks like a bucket for a loader. Don't know where I would have got that idea from, but okay, I'd like something long. Do I have one of my rulers here that I could? Yeah, here's a piece of something long enough. All I need is a straight edge. There we go. Okay, now I got to go straight down. This is going to be a little tougher than I think. Yeah, it worked. This is a little bit sketchy. So far, so good. I think we're going to put a minimum in here. That's looking good. So far, so good. Yep, we're good. Just gonna nail that in there like that. Okay. All right. So there we go. I'm going to try to take this clamp off to make it a little bit easier to deal with. Now this has to come off. I'm just going to take the hand plane and do that. And bottom, so it goes in like that. So I planned for 2 shelves initially. I have a feeling we're going to end up with 3. So yeah, but yeah, the holes are good. I might have to drill another section of shelf pins in here because the door is going to need a little bit more than just this. So it's more like 5/8 here. So I might have to add another piece on here, and I don't think these holes are where I need them then. So that shelf will have a little jog in it. Unless I just do it all the way, I may. We'll see. But anyway, that's assembly. So we'll bring you back when we're putting it in. Oh, no, when we're sanding. This video is going to get a little longer than I planned. Well, I came back in the evening yesterday. I'd finished up doing 2 of the swinging doors on my grandkids' playhouse. I've got now the back two to do yet, and slowly we're getting some progress on that, but it's been slow. But anyway, came back in here last night, looked at things a little bit, and made a couple of decisions. And since they just basically involved cutting and doing things that, excuse me, that I've already done with you, I thought that I wouldn't bother showing you that. What I did last night is I cut a new side for this side here. I don't know if you can see that. This gable here was only about 5/8 wide. And to put a hinge on there and a door on there, it's just not, I didn't like it. It's tight. So I added, and at first I was just going to add a little section like I did on this side. But here, I'm going to turn that a little bit. Maybe you can see that a bit better. But eventually I just put a whole nother piece in here. I had one lying around. I just had to glue two pieces together and cut an angle on it, and it looks like it was made that way. So that's now I've got 1.25 inches here, which will mount, the door will mount on here. And while I was at it, I moved these holes for the adjustable shelves back. They're now 3 inches from the front. I did that because with putting the hinges on, the hinges take about 2.5 inches. So I thought, I don't want to have the hinges interfere with the holes. So, and because this is such an odd shape anyway, the shelves are still plenty stable. So that's going to work out okay. On the other side, I did the same thing. This came out to be 1.25 inches or 1.75 inches. Not that that really matters, but this will allow the door here. Let's make a pretend door here. The door to butt in nicely, and probably I'll leave the original piece as reveal on both sides. Actually, I'll probably make it the same. So the door, when the door goes in, none of this will be seen anyway, and not that it matters. The only thing I need to do now is do some sanding. One other thing. I made another decision last night. I put my two shelves in, and unfortunately, I can't find my shelf clips that I'm going to use. So I just used uh, pieces of dowel to hold them in for this little video part here. And I think I need another shelf in here because I have some things like, gloves and things like that that are relatively low. And yeah, I could stand them up. And I'm not sure if I'm going to do that or not. If they fall over all the time, that's not good. If I was just using it, I'd get away with standing them up. But with kids and other people in my shop, they don't know all the little tricks of everything because they haven't worked with it very much. So I'll do whatever works. I will make another shelf. I've got a piece glued together for it already. And probably this morning yet, I'll be able to cut it and put it in. But the only thing that really remains, I did, I don't know if I showed you this, I did trim this back part off. I just took my little block plane and went at it, and then took my new Princess Auto sander and did that. And then the other thing I did is I rounded the very back, because when uh, when you have a drywalled corner, it isn't perfect 90 degrees. You can't get a perfect 90 in there. So I rounded it a little bit to make sure that it would fit. And I sanded a little bit there too. So anyway, that's the top and the bottom. I'm not going to change anything. The top, there'll just be a little piece that I'll put in here. I may even just stand it on top here and glue it in. It's just going to come across the front, butt joint on this side and 45 on this side. And that's going to do it. It's nothing fancy. And this isn't anything fancy. This is a shop cabinet again. I'm building a lot of those lately. And it's important to have everything set up so that you can put your stuff away properly. So anyway, I've got a little bit of sanding to do yet, and that's going to be the end of this video. I may show you the third shelf in it yet, but this is going to get long enough, so we're going to put the finish on and build the door on another video. And then we'll probably hang it before I build the door for it. This way I can put finish on, and then I can hang it and I can use it right away, because that's important. My sink is so cluttered up, it's ridiculous. So anyway, I'm going to show you a little bit of action with my new sander, and then we're going to wrap this one up. Well, I've been using my Power Fist sander here, and so far I'm quite impressed. In fact, I'm going to do a little bit more work with it. I'm going to sand everything in there, and then quite likely the weekend edition, I'm going to talk about this some more. I found out some things about the Power Fist brand that I'm quite impressed with, and I'd like to share them with you. But I need to do a little bit more fact finding before I do that, because I want to make sure that the information I'm giving you is correct. So anyway, I've got a shelf out here. I've got, I think it's 80 grit on here, and the sandpaper sticks on really well. I'm going to turn this on and oh, come on. There we go. That's about all I'm going to show you. Like I said, for a cheap tool, I'm quite impressed. So I think now the only thing is, how long is it going to last? So anyway, I'm going to talk to you a little bit about that probably in the weekend edition. Well, here it is. Here's the cabinet part. I need to do a bit more sanding yet. I didn't get to this area here. Excuse me. Deadline pressure. I'm a little late this week getting this out, and I need to push. So anyway, but the building is done. I added the third shelf. I'm not sure if I'm going to need it or not, but if I don't need it, I'll just stack it on top of another shelf, and then I have one in case I decide it's necessary. I suspect it will work out though, because like hair ties and dust masks, and there are all kinds of little things that I need to store. Maybe even my hand cleaner, the Gojo stuff. I don't use it all the time. It could just as well be in here. So I'll figure that out. I'm going to continue working on this. The next steps are to finish sanding everything. And again, the outside is basically sanded. That's going to be good enough. And again, this is a shop cabinet, so it's not what should I say? It's not critical that it's pristine, okay? Like the inside, you're not going to see much because it's going to be full of crap. And basically, the thing that you're going to see is the door. However, on the door, I've got another surprise for you. I have a bunch of 1 foot wide mirror. So I'm going to put a piece of 1 foot wide mirror in the raised panel. Like I'm going to make the raised panel and then just inset the mirror into it. or maybe even just glue it on the outside and silicone around the edge. I'm not sure yet what I'll do, because that's down the road a little bit. I needed to get my counter cleaned off. Once this has finish on it, and that's going to just get wipe on poly, so I probably won't show you that. Probably 3 coats. So once that's all done, then I'll install it and I'll fill it. I will get my countertop cleaned off and then slowly start working on the door. So the way this worked is I had some pieces cut and I made a pattern when I had a little bit of time one day, and over the last 2 months it kind of evolved into this. Yeah, time is getting to be a real precious commodity here. So, but anyway, this is going to really help organize for my classes and things like that, and that's maybe coming up in September again if there's interest. And yeah, we're just about to the end. So, well, with that in mind, that brings the weekly edition to a close. Yeah, make sure that you like, share, and subscribe. Again, we're slowly going up a little bit again, so that would be great if it would continue. And there is the 1,000 subscriber giveaway coming up eventually. Who knows when that's going to happen. But anyway, like, share, and subscribe, and we'll see you very shortly on the weekend edition.